Searching for a romantic summer getaway? Escape with Rich Girl Summer, the new Audible original from Lily Chu. The exquisitely talented Philippa Soo, returning to narrate her fifth Lily Chu title. This time, Philippa is joined by her real-life husband, Stephen Pasquale. Set in Toronto's wealthy cottage country, aka the Hamptons of Canada, Rich Girl Summer follows the story of Valerie, a down-on-her-luck event planner posing as a socialite's long-lost daughter, while piecing together the secrets surrounding a mysterious family and falling deeper and deeper in love with the impossibly hard-to-read and infuriatingly handsome family assistant, Nico. Caught between pretending to belong and unexpectedly finding where she truly fits in, Valerie learns her summer is about to get far more complicated than she ever planned. She's in over her head and head over heels. Listen to Rich Girl Summer now on Audible. Go to audible.com/richgirlsummer.
Grave Tone.
Welcome to Grave Tone Podcast, where horror comes to life in every form it takes. I'm Megan.
I'm Arthur.
And we just saw Weapons.
Yeah.
Is anybody surprised that that would be what we would pick to do this week? I don't think so.
I was excited to see it, and then when the movie ended, I kind of looked at Megan and I was like,
huh?
What the fuck did you watch? What happened?
What? Okay. What happened? I don't think anybody is surprised about that. I feel like a lot of people probably had a little moment where they were like, whoa.
Yeah.
Although for me, I feel like that happened more in the middle of the movie than it did at the end.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh.
Where I was just kind of like, what's going on? And then I caught back up and I was like, oh, okay, I see where we're at now.
Yeah. So we're going to be doing kind of like a talk, a review of the movie.
Mm-hmm.
We'll kind of discuss a couple of things in general, and then we'll do a little spoiler warning.
A little bit of a spoiler warning before we get into it. Yeah,
exactly.
It's only fair. It's just come out, so.
Yeah, it's like the first weekend.
Yeah.
And it's already a success.
Oh my God,
Great for the guy. So
as
of right now, as of Sunday evening, latest numbers, allegedly, whatever, they're at about 70 million for the opening weekend.
Okay, yeah.
The budget was 38 mil. So
wow.
It basically what is a success is determined to be double?
I think it's 2.5 times
2.5? Okay.
the budget,
well,
if I'm not mistaken.
Wednesday it's gonna do its business.
Yeah.
So it's gonna be fine.
Yeah.
So good for him. The director
Zach Cregger, Zach Cregger, yeah.
Zach
writer
Cregger,
director.
exactly, writer director, who also written and directed Barbarian.
Yes.
Which was also awesome. And was also one of those what the fuck is going on type of movie.
Correct.
Yeah, so he found his niche of let me write a movie about what the fuck is going on right now.
Well, you know what? I guess I feel like we're at a point where we're just really appreciative of original content.
Yes. Of course. I always love original content. Hollywood just tends to remake everything.
I know.
So.
All the time. So I think we're so happy and the horror community is so happy when we get an original horror film that's not either a reproduced property, it's not a remake, a requel, any of those things. Mm-hmm. So we get it. We're always really happy with it. Okay, yeah. So let's do what we've done a couple of times previously with our newer reviews. So, okay, initial feelings. How did you feel about this movie?
What the fuck just happened? That's my feeling. That was halfway through the movie. At the end of the movie, look, I loved it.
I know. Yeah.
It was very good.
Yeah.
Very atmospheric. It had even, some moments of humor.
Oh God,
that was funny.
There's
which was interesting.
There's a lot of dark humor in it, which we definitely got in Barbarian as well.
Yes, that is true. And actually, speaking of humor, I remember reading this that Zach Cregger, in an interview with Associated Press, apparently he said that certain scenes that were supposed to be funny or that were so funny were actually deleted.
Really?
Yeah, because either it didn't elicit the laughs from the test audiences, so they did remove that, or if the humor was coming from an authentic reaction to the characters having. Then it would work. But if it was just something something strange or weird, you know what I mean? It was kind of funny, they just deleted it. So that's what he said. He said there's a lot of jokes that didn't make it into the movie.
Yeah.
That him talking thought were going to be funny. And then we did a test screening and nobody laughed, and I was like, okay, yeah, that's gotta go.
Okay.
So
yeah, fair.
Yeah.
I can also see too I feel like his stuff. So far we've only seen 2 of his films, right? But I feel like a lot of Zach Cregger's stuff does this thing where it toes the line between I'm uncomfortable and I'm scared, sort of. And so sometimes when people are uncomfortable, they laugh, even if technically the subject at hand is not funny.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, and we've seen that in like other people's films. Ari Aster kind of elicits that reaction.
That's fair.
I remember when we saw Midsommar in theaters, there were multiple scenes towards the end of that film, particularly like the sex scene and stuff that happens, where people were laughing in the theater because it's so uncomfortable that you're kind of like, I don't know what else to do right now, so you just laugh.
Yeah, that's it. So,
I guess this is a new writer-director that I really like, or a writer-director whose stuff is like kind of falling into the horror genre now that I'm just going to really like from now on. And every time now, you know, that's what he's doing now. He's going to have a new movie come out and I'll be like, okay, I guess we're going to see it.
I'm going to go see it. Doesn't matter what it is. Let's go.
No, that's it. There is something about the level of dark comedy, the level of I'm uncomfortable and I don't know if I should like squirm. I don't know if I should call 911. I don't know if I should just sit here and see what happens. It's like that type of like atmosphere.
Yeah, but also like the way that it is, I guess, written or shot, essentially the pacing, like it doesn't reveal too much.
No.
The pacing is really well done and like it kind of explains the story at a good pace because you find things left and right, especially in this movie. Not a big spoiler. I mean, not really a spoiler. It's just kind of shot from different perspectives of the people that it follows. So then you get a bit of a story here, a bit of a story there, and it kind of builds a picture around the whole what is going on type of thing.
And that's something.
So I like that actually.
Yeah. Well, and it was different with Barbarian. Like it was done differently in Barbarian, right? Like this time, like Weapons does it differently because we've got multiple VOVs. In the case of Barbarian, halfway through the movie, you're suddenly like, oh, it's a different film now, or it's from a totally different perspective. Like it does like that like Psycho thing, right? Where it's like your main character, the person you think is your main character disappears halfway through.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm saying.
And then it becomes someone else's film. And in Barbarian's case, it's only for a period of time. By the way, if you haven't watched Barbarian, go watch it. It's very good. And this one also gives you multiple perspectives of multiple characters in order to explain how we got to a certain point.
Yeah, exactly.
Which works really well.
Yeah, it was really good.
Yeah. Okay. Shall we do a little bit of like a spoiler warning? Because maybe we'll talk a little bit more about like specific characters and some plot points.
Yeah.
And
I mean,
stuff.
Look, before we get into it, I'm sure everyone has seen the trailer. It's really creepy and weird. Children just wake up in the middle of the night and run away into the darkness, and then they disappear. Yeah. And this whole town is affected by it, and they kind of have to try to understand what the hell is going on.
Yeah, this is set in a small town in Michigan called Maybrook.
Yeah.
Also, Barbarian was also set in Michigan, like just outside of Detroit.
That's
so
true.
I guess this is where kind of he tends to like set and write the films that he works on. And yeah, essentially 17 children in a primary school class get up in the middle of one random night at 2:17 in the morning and run out of their houses, and there is like video footage from Ring cameras and things like that. They capture it, and they all run off into the night, and no one has found them. And we're kind of picking up at the beginning of the film, roughly a month after they go missing.
Exactly. That's it.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. So we're going to discuss a little bit more stuff that is in depth.
Spoilers.
So, spoiler alert.
Spoilers if you haven't watched it yet.
Just keep listening. It's fine.
No, don't do that. If you want to go watch it first and then come back.
So it's interesting that you mentioned the whole 217 thing. So I was doing some research and everything. Funny things that some movie theaters have done. So some movie theaters, in order to further capitalize on the theme of the movie, they listed the show times at 2:17 p.m. Which
smart.
Is really cool.
That's just good marketing.
Yeah,
good
which
marketing.
is exactly like you just said. It's the same time as the film, as the children in the movie vanish, right? Archer, who's one of the characters that is discussed in the movie, he's a father of one of the children that disappears, whose name is Matthew. So like we said, they go missing at 2:17.
Yes.
And interestingly enough, if you look up Matthew 2:17 in the Bible, it describes the fulfillment of a massacre of children. The slaughter of the innocent.
Right.
So
obviously,
again, like another interesting thing that kind of plays into the theme and everything.
It plays into the theme.
That's it.
Yeah, that's it exactly.
So there's a couple of cool things like that I don't know if it was No, I mean, yeah, I definitely did on purpose. That's too much of a coincidence.
I would assume. I don't think like that was just like a coincidence out of nowhere.
Exactly, that's it. Yeah.
So, okay, yeah, brief rundown. That's it. We get multiple character POVs throughout the course of the film. So initially we follow Justine's character, played by Julia Garner, who is the teacher whose students are all the ones who go missing. So except for one, sorry, yes, a kid named Alex, whose perspective we also get later in the film as well. Justine is, pretty much under the microscope after this happens, because it was almost all of the students in her class,
and
only
just her class
in the entire
that's
school.
It. Yeah, that's freaking
who
strange.
go missing. So we view a lot of like the trauma from her side of things, her perspective as to like, how the level of confusion and everything that she has around everything that's happened and stuff like that. We get her perspective. That is followed by Archer's perspective, who Arthur just mentioned. Archer Graff is played by Josh Brolin.
Yeah.
He is the father of Matthew, who's one of the children who have gone missing. Archer is also obviously dealing with the strain and the trauma of his child going missing. He sleeps in his room at night. He obviously owns a contracting company of some sort, and he's, not keeping up with things that are going on, making errors, all that stuff, all of this is totally understandable.
Yeah.
All the stuff like, he gets orders wrong, does these things, like, doesn't place an order for like siding for a house that they're working on, all that stuff, like,
But also he's the only one who tries to piece things
yes,
together.
Yeah. Archer's character,
I
really liked Archer's character, I think, because he's clearly, at least to a degree, there are things about Archer that are off-putting in the sense that he's quite aggressive about his feelings about things, which is understandable.
Yeah.
He's very intense in the way that he approaches everything, which makes obviously in the way that he approaches Justine, which obviously is, makes sense, because people are just sort of accusing her, because where else are you going to point the finger in this particular case?
Yeah.
But his intensity also, you can tell it rubs people the wrong way, because there's a scene where he goes to see another set of parents whose daughter went missing, and they're uncomfortable with the level of like sort of intensity that he has about like figuring out where the kids may have gone. And so all of his intentions, I think, are correct, and the way he does everything is correct, but he's like a little bit overbearing.
Yeah. And funny enough, one of the parents that Megan just mentioned, which is the parents of another child that got missing, the dad is Justin Long,
played by Justin
Long,
in
The
Barbarian. So of course obviously has a relationship with Zach Cregger and has worked with him previously, and I'm sure enjoyed the experience, which is obviously why he came back to do just a small bit role in this. His wife is played by Sarah Paxton, who is Zach Cregger's real life wife.
Nice.
Also,
That's
she
cool.
was one who was in like a bunch of like rom-coms for teens when in like the early 2000s. I've seen her before. She was in a bunch of stuff when I was younger, so they've been married since 2019. So, and she had a vocal cameo in Barbarian as well. As Justin Long's, I think, agent, the one who calls to tell him that he's been accused of sexual assault, and he's being fired from the TV show. That's it. She has a very long conversation with him in the car. That was Sarah Paxton. So but you know what I mean? Like, his character he's logical, and like I understand, like we see his perspective, so we understand his point of view, but he's a lot.
He's intense. He just has a presence. He's a big guy also, and
yes,
he wants
so
to
he's
get
a
to
little
the bottom of things.
A little bit intimidating.
It's the same as when he was talking to the police commander.
Yes,
I guess
the police chief.
He was intense about it. He was like, oh, he's asking the questions and everything. He's like, why are you not doing anything about it, et cetera, et cetera. So, yeah. He's a big character.
Exactly. Yeah, that's it. So those are the initial perspectives that were given. We're then pointed towards the character of Paul, played by Alden Ehrenreich, who is a cop. Alden Ehrenreich was in Cocaine Bear. The Han Solo movie that everybody hated, a bunch of stuff. He played Han Solo, babe.
I don't know if everyone hated it, but all right.
I don't know. Apparently people did. I don't know anything about Star Wars. I'm just going off of what I know of the internet.
Nice.
So Alden Ehrenreich plays Paul, who is a cop who obviously previously had a relationship with Justine in the past, and is now married to another woman named Donna. They are married, because you can see a wedding ring in photos and stuff. But he definitely pretends that they're not so he can hook up with Justine at one point and stuff. And he sucks, like, in general. He's
not a great person.
He's not great. He's not a great cop, and he's not a great human being. He sucks a little bit. His perspective follows what he starts to uncover while basically after having done something very shitty to a tweaker, essentially.
Yes.
Yeah, like
character.
assaulting someone, like a drug addict, basically. And so, but then gets kind of dragged into the story, I think, really without like meaning to be particularly. So we flip from his perspective to James, who's the tweaker who I just mentioned, played by Austin Abrams, who was in Euphoria. I think that's what he's most known for, probably. Who he plays this character extremely well, by the way.
Really good.
He was very good.
Yes, Mr. Gecko, you're a huge inspiration to us all. But who was your muse?
Oh, my dear old Nan. She imparted many wise words to me. She would say, never let the fame get to your head, always remember who you are, and let people get more than just savings with Geico's fast and friendly claim support. I lived up to her advice, and now anyone can file a claim anywhere and anytime. I miss her so much.
Did she go somewhere?
Yeah, extended quilting trip.
Get more than just savings. Get more with Geico.
That's it. He has like a crack addiction or something like that. He's he's someone who's like, he's homeless. He's living in the woods in a tent, and trying to obviously, get money. He steals from people and does stuff so that he can pawn things essentially and get money so he can get a fix.
And all of that revolves, again, of course, around the missing children stuff, but also revolves around this house, whose
occupants
are Alex's parents.
Yes.
So that's the only kid who did not disappear, who's the only one who went to class the next day, right?
Yeah.
And kind of like all of those characters are revolving, I guess, essentially around this house, because there's something going on there, right? It's really strange. Like, Alex just keeps going in there. We don't see the parents. The windows are not boarded up, but there's like
they have newspaper
over it, so you
them.
can't see.
Which also, like, where did all that come from? Who has physical newspapers anymore, guys?
Yeah, seriously, God. And like, there's no movement. Anyways, there's like really strange things happening in that house.
And like Justine starts it off because she's wanting to speak to Alex because he's the only kid. Obviously, they're the only two who like were involved but were not involved at the same time because neither of them were like affected by it, but they were both around. She's obviously advised not to, and she's essentially put on administrative leave, sort of, from work.
By Marcus, who's another important character.
He's the principal of
the school. And he's also kind of like helping with the counseling for the parents and for himself as well.
Played by Benedict Wong.
Yeah,
Yay.
Benedict Wong.
We love Benedict Wong.
He was really good too.
Yeah, he was.
And so then one of the perspectives after James, I think a tweaker is, right?
I think we get Marcus's perspective after James.
That's it,
if I'm not mistaken.
So then it's Marcus's perspective.
Yes.
So again, he's also involved in that because what we do find is that after Justine kind of calls him to be like, hey, there's something happening with Alex. I think we should do like a welfare check, et cetera,
Yeah.
right?
Because she sees the creepy house.
That's it, yeah. So she goes to visit the creepy house, like Megan was just saying. She wants to talk to him, but Alex is like, no, leave me alone. And she kind of goes around to see, and like the windows, have newspaper on it, and like it seems like the parents are sitting there, but they're like not moving. Really strange.
Yeah, very weird.
So he's like, okay, like I'm gonna try to talk to the parents, Marcus, that is, and then he decides to go ahead with it, right? And to kind of do
a welfare
check and just call the parents in to be like, hey,
well, that's the thing, right? He's the principal of the school. He's a mandated reporter with regards to child abuse.
Yes, exactly.
He has no choice but to report it to authorities. That's how it works.
And instead of the parents coming in, it's the alleged aunt.
Aunt Gladys.
What comes in, she is.
Oh my God.
Holy shit, she's weird.
Aunt Gladys is played by Amy Madigan, who she's been nominated for an Oscar, I think, a couple of times now. Okay. She was in quite a few films in the 80s and 90s, Field of Dreams, things like that. She's married to Ed Harris, has been for a number of years. She was incredible in this.
Yeah.
She was so good.
She was really good. The character was absolutely
terrifying.
Unhinged.
So scary.
Super scary, really weird. So anyway, she comes in, right? And she's like, oh yeah, no, the parents are not feeling well, blah blah blah.
And Marcus is like, I'm very put off by this whole thing, and is like, okay, no, I need to speak to his actual
exactly.
parents.
So, and it was that kind of that interaction happens, and then kind of like the way that he gets involved into the story is that this Gladys lady shows up on the weekend to his house where he's living with his partner, and she basically does
voodoo,
essentially.
She does a spell, some sort of control spell. That's it. That's
Which
sort of like
is
the element of everything, right?
Exactly. So this is kind of like, actually maybe a little bit before that. It was during Marcus's perspective, but before we saw the whole Gladys scene, that I kind of figured it out.
That you were like, is this like a possession thing?
Yeah, so I thought it was like a possession thing. I also got excited because I thought maybe it would be a zombie thing, but it wasn't.
Which is like, it's not exactly a possession thing. It's like a mind control thing.
Yes.
They're like an element of it, right? They're not being possessed by something else. They're being controlled by someone.
Yes, exactly. That's it. So it's like I don't know what you want to call it, voodoo magic, dark magic. Anyways, like, and Gladys, essentially, she's able to control them and have them do essentially the violent acts, or just literally not do anything,
or do whatever she wants them to do.
Stand there, and be weird.
That's very scary.
Which is exactly, it's really fucking creepy. And then so kind of like this is where it's revealed that Gladys is very much involved in this.
Yes,
and she's doing weird shit because we do see her do this crazy dark magic thing, and then
she takes Marcus over.
Marcus' character kills basically his partner.
He kills his husband.
And then
so sad.
So Gladys sends him to kill Justine.
Yeah.
And that's kind of like where where her story stopped,
well,
and then where his story begins.
Where we pass off everything.
Exactly. So like it was actually a very good seamless transition in terms of like
cool. It's
how
very cool.
One story stops and then we get someone else and it ties into where the other story stopped, and then the other one ties into it too.
Everything.
It's really well done.
They bring everything full circle by having the final perspective be Alex's perspective, who's the boy who keeps going into that house every day that looks creepy as fuck, and allegedly has this Aunt Gladys who's shown up. His parents are nowhere to be found. He is the only child that was not taken, or did not leave, I should say.
That's it, did not leave the house. Yeah.
And so we get to follow his perspective. Alex is played by a little kid named Carrie Christopher. Apparently he's 9 years old.
No way.
Stop. Like,
that was crazy. He was so good. Yeah. You believed his fear and everything that was going on. He was 100%. He was really good.
I thought he was super convincing. All of his scenes with Aunt Gladys were incredible.
Oh yeah.
They were really good.
Yeah, well done.
Yeah, really, just like, well done, kiddo, well done, casting department, well done, everybody, really. I mean, like, everybody, really, from start to finish, everybody gives a very good performance.
Yes, it's true.
In this film
Everyone was really, really good.
Well, Mooncake's come to join us to give his opinion, too.
He did not see the movie. His opinion doesn't count.
No. He's also a cat, but, does his opinion matter? Nothing, he leaves. So we get the final perspective through Alex, and this is where we get, I guess, the start to finish explanation.
Yes.
Aunt Gladys contacted Alex's mom, and
who they haven't seen for like 15 years or something like that.
She indicates that she's ill, she has nowhere to stay, nowhere to live, and so they offer to take her in, sort of uncomfortably, like kind of feeling like they have no choice in the matter, really.
Yeah.
She goes to stay with them. She seems very feeble, very ill when she arrives. But when we've seen her a couple of times through other people's POVs, she seems like she's pretty spry, honestly.
Oh, yeah, exactly. She's totally fine and jumping around and everything.
She's pretty good. She's moving on her own. She's totally fine. She's upright. She's not, like, hunched over. She's not doing any of that stuff.
Yeah, so there's something going on there.
Oh, definitely.
Right?
And she... she arrives, and very quickly Alex's parents kind of start acting weird. He comes home one day after school, and they're both just sitting at the dining table looking like zombies, which is definitely where your zombie theory came from.
Yeah.
And he has no idea what's happening, but through the use of the mind control power that she wields, she indicates to him that she is able to make them do anything she wants to. So essentially, she threatens him and indicates that if he doesn't do what she wants, and if he tells anyone that she's there, that his parents are like this, that anything is going on, she will kill his parents in some capacity.
Or just make them hurt themselves, hurt each other, hurt him, whatever, right? Basically, control.
Again,
right?
do whatever she wants.
That's it.
And so, of course, poor Alex goes through a period of, I think, weeks, as far as we can tell.
I think
of
so, yeah.
back and forth.
Definitely.
We also learn, because we learned through James's perspective, but we also learn that when all of the kids got up and left in the middle of the night, they went into Alex's house, into the basement, and they have been there the entire time.
Yeah.
So they've been there for like over a month.
Yeah. And that's something that Justine and the father's name, Archer, we're trying to figure out. And Archer was basically kind of like getting there because
he has a lot of good ideas, because he decides to triangulate.
So he was like looking at where the children were going, and he kind of realized that everyone, at least at the beginning, was going in a straight line. Yeah. Right. So he kind of like took the video of his kid and drew a straight line through the town, and then he took the video of another parent, the Justin Long character.
Yes, Bailey,
and he also drew it through a straight line, and where the intersect happened. Yeah. He was trying to search what was going on there, and then the time when they met with Justine, she was able to say that that's Alex's house, right?
Yeah,
so that's
he
how
pointed it out.
They end up at the house.
Yeah, yeah, they go looking for answers themselves to figure it out, and they come across this entire insane scene, which is multiple people who have been drawn into the house at this point. So Paul, James, obviously,
the two parents,
Alex's parents, who have been there the entire time, and everything, and all of the kids. Everybody is in the house, and everyone is being controlled by Gladys. So obviously there are there's like a bunch of like physical stuff that happens. There's like, fights and everything, because she sets different people on the different characters. So, like Alex's parents are coming after him. Justine and Archer are dealing with Paul and James and stuff, and trying to like work through that. So there's like all kinds of back and forth with that, and and as what works really well in this, and what makes sense in this instance too, they didn't just do it for fun, because Alex has the most knowledge of everything that's happened, and he's observed what's happened over the past X number of weeks. He is the one who kind of has to save the day. Like, the kid has to save everybody.
That is true. Yeah.
So he's really smart, because what he does is he has been watching, obviously, what Gladys has been doing. And she does this thing where she takes a personal object from someone, whoever they are. She wraps it around a branch with thorns. But that's like a special tree. I think that's one of those that she kind of did something with it. It's like the tree that she brought with her when she arrived.
It's like some kind of black magic tree.
She pricks herself with it and rubs all the blood, so she like basically mixes it together, and she creates like the control through that, essentially,
that's it.
As a piece of magic, and then can direct people to do whatever it is that she'd like them to do. And so Alex, very intelligently,
and the only way to stop it is to drop those sticks in water.
Yes, that's it. Sorry, that's true. That's the only way to get it to stop. So intelligently, Alex, who's been observing all of this over the past month, decides to turn the tables, manages to get his hand on one of those sticks, gets a piece of Gladys's hair, and is able to, in turn, set all of the children on her. So 17 kids go chasing her through the neighborhood. It's a great scene.
It's also one of those funny scenes, but also very scary scenes.
It's very violent,
I don't want to have 17 children running after me. That's fucked up.
I don't think anybody would. Daycare workers everywhere are like, oh, God.
Yeah, that's it.
So all of the kids go chasing Aunt Gladys out through multiple people's houses and stuff like that. It's a totally wild scene, all the way into someone's yard, where they finally catch up with her and literally rip her to shreds, into pieces. Oh my God.
Yeah, it's pretty
really
crazy. And also funny enough is that there's a scene where Alex's dad and Alex are driving to school when they were still flying.
Yes, yeah.
And it was just when Gladys came, and Alex kind of asked his dad, like, oh, how long do you think Gladys is going to stay? And
I don't think she'll be here much more than a month.
A month, exactly.
And it means 7 different things from different people, right? It's funny because obviously of what winds up happening in the story and how long it's been, like what winds up happening in the film. But then you have 2 different perspectives, because you've got Alex, who's like, oh, okay, so she'll leave in like a month. But obviously Alex's dad is saying she'll probably be dead in a month.
Yeah. Exactly. So that's one thing. And then the other thing I was going to say is that her death basically happens about a month
roughly
after the kids disappear. So
that's it. Cool. No, everything kind of ties together. Even like talking it through now, because I'm like remembering like different points and stuff. I mean, obviously there are like a ton of scenes in between. There are a lot of like interactions between characters and backstories and things like that you get bits and pieces of as you go, that like, I wouldn't even want to spoil all of that anyway, but it's very seamlessly done. Everything fits together. And one thing that I noticed that I thought was cool was when you hop to a different POV. Particularly, I noticed this between Paul and James. The way that each of them interpret the way that the other one is acting, they filmed it slightly differently in each of their perspectives, particularly when Paul catches James because he's trying to break into a building. Paul chases him down, catches him, assaults him, and then that is caught on his dash cam because he's an idiot and assaulted this kid. Like, really, I get it. He poked himself on a needle that the kid had in his pocket, but like, calm down. That came out of nowhere. In Paul's perspective, he's panicking, being like, okay, if you don't tell anybody what happened or report it, like, we're just going to forget that you were trying to do anything. It's fine. We'll just leave it. When you see James' perspective filmed, he's a lot more self-assured, Paul, and he's just like, all right, just fucking don't say anything about this. It's a little bit different because it's, it's when we have interactions with people, different people will have different interpretations. Of course, yes. You know, you feel like something came across a particular way when you're speaking to someone, they may have seen something different from you in their mind.
100%.
Yeah. So that was something that I thought was kind of cool.
Yeah, actually, that's pretty true.
Anyway, this was a really fun film.
Yeah.
I really liked it. I know, I think it's because it's so wild and there's so much kind of going on that you kind of get a little like, whoa. I can understand. I feel like when we got to the end and you were like, because it does end very abruptly.
Yeah, it's true. I was like, is there going to be more? Is there going to be a why? Kind of.
The why, I think, was just Gladys was trying to live. I get the feeling she's done this before.
Yeah, I think you're right.
And she was trying to extend her life more and more.
I think that's what happened because, like you said, we saw her coming in and she could barely walk.
Yes, correct.
And then she's like jumping around and she's all like active and everything after she started, controlling the parents and the kids and everything. Yeah. So I think that's actually what it is.
Yeah, I think so too.
Yeah, no, it makes sense, and it's also probably good that they didn't try to explain it to be like, oh, it's a fountain of youth thing.
How much do you need it to be explained eventually? Like, it's kind of okay sometimes to...
At this point.
No, but you know what I mean? Like, it's kind of okay sometimes for us to just have
100%. I agree. That's what I'm saying. I'd rather have it like that than be told what it is.
Yeah, that's it. Exactly. Anyway, so I think we really enjoyed it. This was a really fun one. I'm looking forward to a couple of later releases in the fall and stuff. We'll see what we can get to, and a couple of the movies that have come out that we maybe haven't had an opportunity to see so far this year. Like, we haven't had a chance to sit down and watch together yet, which I'm looking forward to. I think that one's going to be wild. So
but
so anyway, as other stuff kind of starts coming out in the fall, we'll get around to those ones and add some others to the list, because I'm sure I feel like we'll head towards the end of the year and we'll probably have our lists of some of our top stuff from 2025.
Oh yeah, 100%.
So that'll be fun. Okay, anyway, obviously, in the meantime, feel free to follow us on all of our socials. So Instagram, TikTok, Threads, Blue Sky. We're at Gravetone Pod. But until next time, guys, stay scared and stay tuned.
Ciao, guys.